Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Wrestling with Fitness. I am the Wizard CZ. Joining me is my tag team partner for this accountability journey, Mr. Zach Takis. Zach, how you feeling today, buddy?
I'm pretty good, man. Pretty good. We got to go to wrestling shows the last couple weekends here. Well, at least I did, and I got to see you this past weekend and our old friend Nick Bowl, which was a lot of fun, and we had a great time in Des Moines this past weekend. So, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm really excited. We got some college football starting up here this weekend, but yeah, like I was telling you guys kind of before we came on, I know you've been in a funk for a little bit. I've been in a funk here this afternoon. For me personally, ever since I've become a parent, school shootings just hit me differently. So I've been in a little bit of a funk from that and it just always leaves you with a weird feeling when you have your own kid. It's different. It's just a weird feeling. So I was happy to come home tonight and give my little man a big hug when I got home. So
For sure. Definitely hate seeing that kind of stuff happen. We have a returning guest for the first time, Zach. I'm excited. Joining us, he was on our first episode. This is episode 7, so it's been 6 months or so. Storm Thomas, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys having me back. I think it'll be really cool for all of us to check in, see how you guys are doing. We could talk a little bit about what I've been doing, but I'm very invested in this journey that you guys have going on. So thank you for having me back.
Absolutely. Glad to have you back.
it's kind of hard, Chris, to believe. Like when we were setting this up, it's like shit. It's already been 6 months since we started this.
Yeah, I can't believe it's been since February. that's crazy. It doesn't feel like
No, and the year's just absolutely flown by. Like it's been crazy. So I'll kind of start off with my progress. We kind of talked about it a little bit before we kind of came on. My workout schedule's been a little hit or miss, but I'm still getting my exercise in, if that makes sense. So at least once a week I have to mow the yard, and lately that's been falling on my normal gym days, which is Thursday. So that kind of sucks, but it takes me like an hour to mow the yard, which is a good workout. And then now that it's finally getting warmer out, or now that it's finally not 100 degrees out, I've actually been taking the dog for like a 2-mile walk every so often when I get a chance to. I'm like, you know what? At least it's still moving for a half hour and still getting my exercise in. And I've still been hitting the treadmill a bit at home. Like earlier this week, I did a run and a walk on the treadmill at home, and I went to the gym on Tuesday night, and so I've still been getting the exercise in. I haven't been getting into the gym as much as I would like to. So hopefully, if it ever actually starts to dry out, I can get back into my schedule. Because this mowing every week this summer has just been a pain in my ass.
I can understand that. I'm in a similar boat to you, Zach. I haven't done as much in getting to the gym as I'd like, but I've been working out in the pool, not swimming, doing there's water weights at the Y. So that's been, I try to get there 2-3 times a week. I haven't been since Friday, but it's just been a busy week so far. But I'm also doing DDP yoga, DDPY.
Oh, very nice.
So that is,
and you're kicking ass at it, by the way.
I'm trying to.
You're kicking ass at it.
Today, I've got the advanced bed to chair workout, and I graduate into the chair on Friday. Although
Congratulations.
They have one of the two. Look at me, I'm a stuttering idiot. 2 of the days this week, they have me doing like a 50-minute tutorial where I watch what they do, and then I do it with the video. So that was Tuesday after work. Monday after work I did that. I think, Monday after work. My days are all mixed up.
I'm right there.
Today was an off day, so when I got off of work today, I did some weight stuff. Just my normal. I have about 7 exercises that I do with weights, bicep curls, bent over rows and flies, and then wood chopping, I guess is what they call it. I just got a medicine ball this week on purpose because I think it's a little easier to hold. But just kind of going down and up, and then doing it on the other side.
Yeah.
Yep.
Uh,
I
More
love
just
I
an
love
oblique
medicine
workout.
ball. I love medicine ball workouts.
and usually I'll use the dumbbells, and then I'll switch to with the medicine ball. Now I'm going to switch to that purposely for the wood chopping, just because
There you
it's
go.
easier to handle.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'll be honest, fellas. We talked about this off air. I've been in a funk for about 5 days now, since Saturday night. I kind of have an idea what triggered it, but I'm not going to talk about that. It's been hard to pull out of, and I know exercising does help with that. I went
Sure.
for a longer walk than I usually do on Sunday, about 25 minutes, doing the DDPY stuff, and that hasn't helped. But I feel good today. I feel good now. So
Right.
I think my workout before coming on
Mm-hmm.
really helped with that. So
Good. I'm glad to hear it. And I definitely wanted to talk to you guys about that tonight because, like you said, we're 6 months in. And so I'll get to the mental aspect of it here in a little bit. But while we're talking about how, all of our physical progressions are going, I'll kind of fill you guys in. I was talking about it a little bit before we went on the air. I was just able to start working back out. For most people who don't know, I ended up in the emergency room a few weeks ago, and I had a situation where, and I didn't know it at the time, but apparently I have a cyst on my left kidney. No clue that it was there. Something I must have hit something, bumped something, aggravated it, and it swole up. And when it did that, it kind of like pressed down. Like, so as it swole, it pressed down on the kidney itself to where I was not able to release any fluid out of my kidney, which was causing me a bunch of pain. We go in there, we do the CT scans and everything, and it shows that. And it was a much bigger deal than I thought it was, because when I found out that, I learned that if I would have tried to tough it out, wait it out, I'm really glad I didn't just like pop a handful of aspirin and go to bed, because my kidney could have either ruptured or spilt over, creating sepsis. So I'm actually glad I went in when I did. We were able to get everything patched up, to say the least. I still got to go back for some more testing and then get some more things figured out if we need to go in and drain it or if they can leave it alone. But I know we're talking about wrestling with fitness, but I want to encourage both of you guys, as well as everybody else listening, go in for your wellness checks.
Mm-hmm.
I know that we hate them, especially most of us men. If we don't have to go to the doctor, we're not going to go to the doctor. But I would really like to encourage you guys to consider some of these things, especially at our age.
Yeah.
And I know it's not necessarily the coolest thing to talk about, but body scans, schedule something with a GI doctor, colonoscopy. Make sure that as we try to perfect our outer appearance, we need to make sure our insides are working well too.
right.
So yeah, I was put up in a hospital for a few days, and now that everything's starting to kind of feel normal again, I've had to progress into some lighter weight workouts, and it can be a bummer. Like
Yeah.
I'm with you guys on that. Like I'm not, and I have a hard time with my body image, and I know to both of you that might sound crazy, right? But if you knew me in high school and college, you knew I was 300 plus pounds, and I've always been a big kid. So there are days where even, and I had a very emotional moment with my wife a couple of weeks ago. Like I wasn't able to lift, but my gym is in my house. So like there are
Mm-hmm.
certain things I see every day.
Right.
And I'm not built like I was when I was actively wrestling. Like I've leaned out more. My arms aren't as big or as full, and I don't need to carry around 230, 235 pounds. So I'm floating around 210, 212.
Wow.
And I'm looking at the canvas. There's a photo that was taken of me. We were doing that retirement tour. and somebody got a great picture of me flexing. I was having that flex off in the 6-man tag with Cowboy Bob Orton. Me and Rip Studwell were having a flex off, and somebody got just a great picture of just the most muscular pose. And I have that canvas in my gym, and I was looking at that, and I remember me thinking I wasn't in good enough shape to be wearing trunks. And I look at that now and I'm like, I didn't appreciate how good I looked or felt, and I'll probably never look that good again. So body image is always going to be a thing. It's part of our mental makeup. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about with the mental stuff, you're starting to kind of get into that. In a relationship, we call that the 7-year itch. If, for those of us who are married, you get that 7-year itch, you start to really overthink things. You start to ask yourself why on things that are like, why would I even ask myself this? But again, it's natural. Now put it into the relationship that you're having with your fitness journey right now. You're approaching that 7-month itch, similar to the 7-year itch in a marriage or a relationship. And not trying to get too philosophical with you guys, because I know we like to keep it light, but don't lose the crush you had on fitness when you first started.
Right.
Similar to most of us men, who we start to forget the crush that we had on our spouse, and we stop chasing our spouse, and we stop, doing those little things when we were trying so hard to get their attention. So when you were trying to get that fitness attention or lose that first 7 to 10 pounds, you'd go out of your way to get that 4th day, 5th day in the gym. You'd go out of your way to hit that extra walk down to the mailbox. You'd go out of your way to buy the flowers, the chocolates, set up a date. We have to make sure mentally that we still have that crush attachment to the gym and to our fitness, which is just basically, again, to ourselves. So that was one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about, to see if you were starting to get that itch. But I'm glad to see we're all kind of on that same wavelength.
Well, I definitely feel like for me, like weight loss wise, I feel like I've plateaued a bit, but it's one of the same things too. I feel like lately I haven't been obsessing over a number. Like, I'm not weighing myself as often, which I think is awesome. I did weigh myself earlier this week. I was like 236.2, so I'm still doing good. I'm not gaining, I'm not really losing, but I'm also not gaining. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not gaining. That's fine. As long as I'm not gaining, I'm perfectly happy with that. And the funny thing is too, dude, throughout this whole journey, I find I really love meal prepping. Like, that's been a lot of fun. Yeah, like that's been a lot of fun for me, finding these dudes on Instagram who have these really easy meals to make, throw them in a slow cooker or whatever, and it's like, hey, I have meals for the next 10 days for lunch or whatever. And yeah, it's been great. Like, I've really found a love of meal prepping.
That's awesome.
That's something that I started doing off and on. I've done maybe three or four times, but it's not something that I've gotten into the habit of doing yet. I'm hoping to. It mainly would just be for lunches for me.
Yep.
I should. I'm not a big breakfast guy necessarily. I'll have something for breakfast. I'll make sure I eat something, but it doesn't. Lunch and dinner are where I get most of my meals.
Gotcha.
So when I did meal prepping, I did one of the recipes that Zach found in the slow cooker once, but mainly I've been getting chicken and brown rice and just doing that for a week.
Yeah, that's meal prepping, brother. Like, if you're able to throw down a couple hours on a Sunday to even if you're just air frying up some chicken breasts or whatever, and then you got the rice, and you can put 7 days of meals worth together just for lunches, and then let's say you're actively making dinner every night. Hey, you're still meal prepping. You're in that. See, the way I kind of break down my meals now, especially that school's in session, is I am a breakfast guy. Like, I'm one of those types of people. I could eat breakfast foods every meal, and
Same.
like I'm so happy. So, like when I was traveling all the time, Waffle House, Cracker Barrel, uh, Denny's, IHOP, all of those places that would be open, super late or close to 24 hours, and I could always get an omelet or some steak and eggs or whatever. Like I love eggs. So one of
Hmm.
the things that I do for my meal preps, I'll go about 3 or 4 days out, and I'll for my breakfast I like to do 4 egg whites, 2 whole eggs, and then 5 ounces of ground turkey. So I'll just 5 pounds of ground turkey,
Yep.
get that all taken care of in the Instapot, and then I'll just start separating my egg whites, on Sunday, and then again on Thursday or Friday for the next few days. That way, by the time I got to get up in the morning and do it, it's just whisk, 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 scramble, scramble, scramble,
Hmm.
done. And then dinners, primarily, we do those pretty fresh every day. Uh, I don't know if we talked about it, but I went really hardcore carnivore
Oh,
in the
nice.
first few months of the year. And it was cool. It was super cool. It is super cool because I still consider it like I'm carnivore based, right?
Right.
But one of the things I learned, fellas, if this is something you're ever interested in, be easy on the red meat and the egg yolks. Because even though it is a high fat protein based diet, you want to be careful with the cholesterol and the blood pressure. Like mine spiked up. And the doctor was like, how often are you eating red meat? And I'm like, daily. And he was like, stop it.
Hmm.
So even on some of those things, there's still things to learn. It's all trial and
Yeah.
error, right?
Right.
It'll
Right.
definitely be right back down. It's not a big
Yeah.
deal.
Oh,
But we've actually started incorporating more fish.
yeah.
And I've been finding some really cool recipes to do with fresh fish that has been a lot of fun.
Nice. And you being down in Florida, you probably can get some damn good fresh fish.
Oh, yeah.
So I know you were talking earlier too, man, about doing your doctor visits. So every year for me, I have to go get my yearly physical done for insurance purposes. And this year, my doctor was over the moon with my results this year, and she said, because I'm on a medicine for my cholesterol, and she's like, if you keep doing what you're doing, I will take you off that medicine next year. So that
That's
made me feel
fantastic.
that, because I'm only taking it like every other day right now as it is. But yeah, she's like, if you keep going the route you're going, I'm gonna take you off of it next year. So that was
Yeah.
really cool to see. Like all my levels, my triglycerides, everything was pretty much in the normal range, which was really cool to see. So I was like, all right, sweet, progress is paying off. So
For me, usually when I go in, I see my endocrinologist because I'm diabetic. So I see her 3 to 4 times a year. Get checked up with my PCP once a year. My numbers, except for my A1C and my weight, are usually pretty good.
That's good.
The weight is something that I've always struggled with, and over the last couple of months, I was down at 425, and then I came back up to 440.
Gotcha.
Last time I weighed myself was Friday, and I was down to 434. So I was happy about that. But I know I had also had a lapse for a couple weeks where I wasn't doing everything that I had been doing. So I know what caused the weight gain. It was 100% on me.
Right.
But my A1C, I've been working on that. I'm trying my best to lower my carb intake, and that is incredibly difficult because they are incredibly addictive.
mm-hmm.
That's hard. That's hard, man. That's the hardest part.
We love carbs, man.
It
Yeah,
is.
it's hard.
And that's the thing, like with the carnivore diet, that was one of the hardest things to curb at first was like, well, where do I get that from? Once you realize you didn't need it, it actually becomes pretty easy to avoid, but it does take time. And I'm saying that coming from somebody who is super dedicated and disciplined to meals, to training, my appearance, my physique. So I can't fathom the levels of difficulty that you're having. But what I would tell you is try to like figure out ways to baby step.
Mhm.
Maybe it's skip a meal tomorrow with no carbohydrates. So just let's say some chicken breast and make it just a chicken salad with no croutons, no bread, no nothing for lunch. And then for dinner, you have something with a little bit of carbs. But then the next day, or if you're going to go 3 meals, first day is 1 meal, no carbs. Second day, go 2 meals, no carbs. Third day, go 2 meals with no carbs. And then maybe on that fourth day, see if you can go the whole day with no carbs. But then day 5, scale it back to what we started with. 2 carb meals, 1 without. And then keep going on that 4-day plan. Give yourself 3 weeks. See what your body feels like. See where your weight has gone. And then continue to test it in that manner to where then you're like, well, what if I can go 6 meals in a row, 2 whole days, no carbs. And then on that third day, instead of all 3 meals with carbs, maybe we'll only do 1 meal with carbs. And then we'll reverse it back to where it's 1 meal, then 2 meals, then a whole day of 3 meals. Like there's so many ways we can play with your carbs
Mhm.
to stimulate mentally, but also emotionally and physically the change that we need to see. I think that could be a lot of fun for you.
Okay. Yeah, I can give that a try.
And Chris too, like look at some of those like breakfast meals. And I know you said you're not a big breakfast guy, but I know having breakfast in the morning can really help jump start your metabolism. Like that's why I love doing things like the breakfast burritos that I've sent you, or like even the last one I did here was like breakfast sandwiches that I did. And it's all just on a sheet pan. Like it's super simple to do, but it's super simple yet super delicious. And like I said, it can help jumpstart your metabolism there in the morning.
The one that I really want to try is you sent this to me, and it's been in my head to do it, is the one with that you do in the air fryer.
Oh,
Yeah.
that one's bomb. I love that one.
So that Storm, it's frozen hash browns. You heat those up. I think in about 10 minutes, and then you put in a combination of
It's 2/3 cups egg whites, 2 eggs, real bacon bits, and then fat-free cheese on the top. And yeah,
Okay.
and do that in the air fryer. Oh, it's delish.
Sounds like a baked like a breakfast casserole.
Yes,
a little bit,
more or
yeah.
less. Yeah, I'll send
You know
you
what
the
else you
recipe
can
here when we
find?
get done.
A really cool carb-free breakfast if you're interested. You can literally get the recipe to Starbucks's egg bites online.
Oh,
ooh.
And if you have
Okay.
a muffin pan,
yep,
you can get the recipe, break it down into into the little muffin tins, and
yeah, yep,
you've got your own homemade Starbucks bites. But
yeah,
then if you want to get really playful with it, you can get some regular bacon or even turkey bacon or
yep,
maybe strips of salami or whatever meat you like to use, and you can put it on the outside of the egg bite, almost like a cupcake paper.
yeah, yep.
But you put that turkey bacon strip in there, put the rest of the ingredients in that, let it bake, and then you've got just a little bit extra on top.
Mm-hmm.
We've done those. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah,
And I think that's the key, right? Especially with meal
yeah,
prepping is we have to stop looking at it as I've got to,
yeah.
and we've got to change that O to an E, and I get to.
And see,
So that's why
so
I
the
was
fun
saying, like,
thing, the fun thing for me, man, like we order groceries about every 2 weeks. Usually, so and then on that grocery weekend is when I'm doing my meal prep. So for that first week, I'll have my meal prep, and even during that first week of with my meals that I have, I'm like I'm already starting to think, okay, what do I want to add to the list to do next week? I'm already looking ahead to say, okay, what do I want to do? What meals do I want to try? And yeah, it's been a lot of fun looking through and seeing, okay, oh, I could try that, and yeah, just finding all the different recipes. And yeah, so I'll probably do a couple hours here this weekend, even while we're watching football and doing some meal prep here this weekend. So
absolutely. And that's the key is for long-term success, we
mhm.
have to continue to find ways to make it fun,
Yeah.
Whether it's, playing with the carbohydrates, oh, I'm going to do 3 meals today. I'm going to do 2 meals tomorrow. I'm going to do 1 meal. You could literally put together a 2-week plan and figure out different ways to manipulate and play with
Yep.
it, but also the types of foods that we're talking about, like literally just putting together great recipes that we can create something fun but still healthy. And that's where, again, you get to fall in love with your journey that you might just feel plateaued on.
Right.
For sure.
Well, and one thing I noticed too the other day, so I was kind of out of meals, one day, week ago or 2 weeks ago, because I had ran out of my meals and I still had some of those lean cuisine meals in the fridge. So I threw one of those in for lunch and I got done eating. I'm like, I can make this better, because those were my go-tos for the longest time, were those lean cuisine meals, which they're not horrible, but the sodium in them I know is so high, and I'm like, and that's one thing I've noticed about making like everything fresh now. I'm like, I'll take my freshly made meal any day over the frozen meals.
It does have a much different taste. Like you said, I could make this better.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I've done is I've tried to recreate like what some of those meals taste like. And it's like, okay, well, this one had a grilled chicken. This one had these vegetables. Let me see what I can do on my own.
Mm.
And then when you taste the fresh versus the sodium filled processed, you're like, that's wild. Like that's
Yep.
what it's like when I come back to Iowa all the time and I get that sweet corn.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you're just like, this is what it's supposed to taste like.
Yeah, I can't imagine you get a ton of sweet corn in Florida.
Brother, we get corn, but it like doesn't taste anything.
Yep.
It's like, I know I'm eating a vegetable, but
Right.
this is not what corn tastes like. This is
It's
like
not-
little
it's not the
styrofoam
corn.
bits that are yellow.
Yeah, it's not the corn you're buying from the stand that's selling at the gas station down the street.
Right. That's the funny thing about culture. Not to change the subject too hard, but like, if you're in Florida, the last place you want to buy any type of produce or fruit or anything from is the guy on the corner. Like, you just don't trust that dude. But when I come to the Midwest, like, I'm not going to Hy-Vee to buy sweet corn. I'm going to the guy on the corner because he's got the best stuff.
Yep.
And like just the best intentions too. Like, there's just something different about Midwest folks.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
No, without a doubt.
Yeah.
All right. So Chris and I were talking about this week, and this is all going back to wrestling. I know you said you've been kind of out of it, but I also know you probably still see bits and pieces through social media. So we all know that this is John Cena's last year in wrestling. Chris and I we were kind of talking about this past weekend because this subject came up on a podcast I was listening to on the way to the show. So in regards to Cena's final match, normally when you retire in wrestling, you go out with your shoulders to the mat. I think something could be said for it to be different for Cena. But if you have Cena go out on his back, this is kind of going to be a multiple part question. Who do you think Cena should put over on his way out? Or if Cena's going to win his final match, who do you think Cena should go over on?
I think there's a lot of ways to look at this.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's what makes it a fun question.
Right. I relate to it because I've been in those shoes. When I retired the first time and I was done before my injury, my last match was against Austin.
Mm-hmm.
You made a statement, most guys go out with their shoulders pinned. I can tell you that wasn't supposed to be the case for Austin. And it's funny because I just texted him a couple weeks ago. I was, after the hospital situation, I was just sitting watching our match and I was like, what a good match.
Mm-hmm.
And it never should have been. But when you have the passion, when you have the history and you can tell the right story, the moves don't matter.
Nope.
And when you take away the stress of the moves not mattering, the movement becomes so natural and we danced so cleanly. But the finish that you saw was not supposed to be the finish in Austin Bayless's mind. And if you go back and rewatch it, you can see in the entrances where I grab Harold for a little longer than I'm supposed to. And I tell him, I'm changing the finish. This is the new finish. Don't tell Austin. And that was when, and you can go call Harold on this. That is when Harold learned that I was changing the finish. Because in everybody else's mind, I was going over with my finisher shortly after that splash. It was my choice. And when you're going out, and this, as we all know, you know, like WWE's pulled the curtain back so much with Cena.
Mm-hmm.
It's all on Cena. This last run is literally whatever he's wanted to do, whoever he's wanted to work with. Do we all still understand that he's John Cena and he's going to do whatever he's told to do? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
But I think with the guy running the ship and the guy being Triple H, he also knows how important it is that if you're going to go out on your own terms, because he didn't, you finish your story. So to get to your question, if Cena were to go out on his back, who does he put over? Whoever he wants. Realistically, I think it would be a Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
I think it would be somebody who's really, really overly talented and somebody who he knows for a fact will be able to benefit the most. And this is just me, right? You notice when he was doing his heel run, it was an opportunity for him to let you know, I'm the greatest of all time. John Cena, without turning heel, can't say that. But notice that now that he's turned back to babyface, he has created a new level of ownership of that term.
Mm-hmm.
To where now when he does say it, you believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Because he gave us that weak little 4-month run of being a nasty heel, but doing it all the right way. It took one promo for him to go back babyface.
Mm-hmm.
But a level of babyface that will allow you to look at anybody and say, I am the greatest of all time. And then we agree with you. So there is part of me, like with the referencing of that, I kind of want to see him re-reference leaving with the title as the last real champion. It's almost time for them to debut a new look anyway. Even if they just let him retire with it and start a tournament for a new, WWE championship, and it's the same looking gold belt, who cares, right? But I think there's something to be said to really, to just put that cherry on the top. If we're going to refer to him as the greatest of all time, the only person to have the legitimate 17 titles, and he's that guy, he should be the only guy to retire as a champion. So in that case, wherever the championship lies, realistically.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just my personal take. I would love to see them like create that more of that just finite. We're going to revert back to this thing that I said 6 months ago, and you're going to be like, I didn't believe when you said that. I didn't believe it, but now that you did it, I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
That would literally make him the greatest of all time, no question.
Yeah, I love the idea of Braun Breaker. The other one I would suggest, as much as I don't want it to be, but just based on what we're seeing the last 6 months, I could see the other one being Logan Paul, just because I feel like outside of Cody, who's had more screen time with Cena the last 6 months? It's been Logan Paul. Yeah. So I can see after their match this weekend, they have a rematch down the road. That's where they pull the trigger. Another fun thing that
the problem with that is timing.
Yeah. Yep.
Because he's doing the feud with Logan now.
Right.
Once it's over, there's really no need in December to go back to it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think if they were going to do Logan, it would need to have been later down the road.
Right. The other thing I would love to see, maybe let him lose the final match. He's up there celebrating, doing his shtick, getting ready to talk in the promo. The next thing we know, boom, The Rock's music hits. Rock comes out. They kind of have a little confrontation. Cena does his little FU. The referee's still out there. Cena goes for the pin, pins Rock 1, 2, 3. It's not like an official match, but it'd be kind of a fun, lasting memory. Like, hey, the last memory we have of him is actually pinning The Rock one final time. Like that, I think that would be a lot of fun and a kind of way to go full circle on just everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I don't know how much they're trying to abandon that original storyline with The Rock. But just from some of the little Easter eggs that he's dropped, like it sounds like between Travis Scott and The Rock and everybody, like they dropped the ball on the whole idea and left him with that.
Yep.
So I would, being a smart man, I would almost assume that even if Dwayne wanted to come back in the fold, there would be a reservation involved.
Yeah.
Just to say, hey man, you kind of effed me here.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather go a different direction.
Right.
And again, like, look at The Rock's schedule. Number one, we should have all known better. Number two, I think even by December, there's no point at that time of year to utilize the final boss. But it'll be interesting no matter what. I think, a clip snuck out on the internet. I don't know what they were filming for, but Cena referenced his career as a 500-page book. He goes, we're on page 499. It would really take all of us to screw up this last page to where the other 499 wouldn't matter. So it's one of those things where unless it was like, just didn't make sense, I think no matter who he goes out against, whether it's over, under, champion, no champion, he's the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
And now we can say that undeniably.
In a perfect world, and I know this is not possible and not going to happen, if the
Don't you
Stars
dare say Hogan. He's already dead.
Okay, but no, shame on you. No, if he were capable of getting in the ring, I'd love for Cena to end it where it all began with Kurt Angle.
Yeah, oh God, yeah. Oh,
It'd be that would be cool.
that would be damn cool.
There's a lot that can still be done, even though there's like 10 dates left.
Right.
But I think it's going to be, I think it'll be him going out on the sword.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I've already stated, I'm a firm believer. I would love to see him go out. Maybe he wins it on his way out 18th time, just to put that little further distance.
Right.
There will be no tie at 17. You're going to have to come meet me at 18, which means you have to beat Ric Flair, which is never going to happen anyway. So I'm going to just go one little notch further and make it 18 times.
And the next one closest to Cena, I think, is Orton, who has 14, I think.
Right.
Why I know that off the top of my head, don't ask me. I can't remember what I had for lunch, but...
But it's one of those things, even Orton's too far away.
Right, yeah, exactly. It's like
So,
you see 14, and you're like, oh, yeah, that's not that far, but where he's at in his career, yeah, he's little, especially lately
again,
with the way...
if you give it that last little bump, and you let him win it on the way out the door, and he makes it 18, like, at this point, no one touches him. And he goes down as, again, the greatest sports entertainer, wrestler of all time, because he was in both eras, really.
Yeah.
And now take 2 steps back. What was the biggest attraction, superstar, pro wrestler, sports entertainer in the history of the WWE before him?
It would have to be probably
You just
The
said his
Rock,
name.
maybe Hogan.
Bingo. And if you have a reputation that was so poorly tarnished there at the end.
Mm-hmm.
What a better run to
Yeah.
make sure that as we go forward, we don't think red and yellow, we think you can't see me has always
Right.
been that face, that greatness, that hustle, loyalty, respect, and we kind of just let the other thing just go by the wayside.
Yeah. For sure.
You mentioned the red and yellow. Nick on Card Subject to Change on my other podcast wants to have a discussion about what color shirt do you most associate with John Cena?
I'll go first.
Me. Ooh. Go ahead.
For me, I'll go green. I feel like green was I feel like the one he had the longest. I feel like, even though I'd laugh all the time anytime he had a new color come out, because I would always say, and parents everywhere just groaned because now their kid wants another shirt. But I feel like green was the one he had for the longest.
See, I don't know that there's a color you can associate with him, but I think there is, like, if you could close your eyes right now and just think John Cena shirt, there's one that pops up from one era or another. And the one that always popped up for me, and like I bought the hat, I bought the shirt, the little medallion that came with it, the wristbands. And I know you guys are going to remember this because you're Midwest guys.
Yeah.
Do you remember it was the black shirt, but it
Yep.
had almost the John Deere logo,
Yep.
like
Yes.
the green and yellow
Yep.
trim,
Yep.
and it was the John Deere shape. Like that for me will always be like, that was my favorite Cena.
Yep.
And that's the one that I associate. Like when you say Cena merchandise, like that's the first thing that comes to my mind.
Yeah.
See, for me, I can't not think of Cena's shirt and think of The Rock referring to him as Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah.
Yes.
Greatest run of all time. But seriously though, he's had
promo
more
battles. Oh my gosh.
He's had more colors and more merchandise than anybody else, and it's just one of those things, like, no matter what he did, it sold out.
I would love to see his merch figures compared to Austin of the Attitude Era. Like those merch numbers, I mean, Austin, they said, was skyrocketing. I would just love to see Cena's total merch numbers because they have to be astronomical.
Oh my gosh. And just this last year, like he's got a new outfit every town.
Yes.
Yep.
And apparently, I saw an interview he did. Apparently, he was at a Comic-Con, and there are like 17 more designs that he had to pre-approve before the run, but like something changed in the scheduling to where certain towns didn't happen. So the weird thing is the number turned out to be 17 that haven't been seen. And he's trying to convince WWE Shop to do the Unseen 17 special run right before he leaves.
That'd be
You
awesome.
have 17 extra that we didn't see? And you had a different outfit every town? Brother, that is...
But that makes it really fun for the folks in that town, though. You know, it's like when you go to a concert and the band has a poster for that town. I have a few of them here from when I've seen some of my favorite bands. Like it's just one of those special tokens from, hey, I was there at that night, and it has the city and the date on it. I'm a sucker for stuff like that. I'm a big sucker for that.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw it, but like there was, I think the last PLE, I think it was in Philly. Mm-hmm. Like he came out on SmackDown, and I think he was wearing like the Steelers colors. Not Steelers, but he was wearing like the Philadelphia 76ers colors.
Yeah.
And then he comes out for the PLE, but he's wearing Philadelphia Eagle colors. And it's like, brother, you just sold these people twice.
Yep.
Like you just got these same town folks 2 times because now they got to get both. Good for you.
We're talking about Cena merch. I would be remiss if I didn't show you guys this. This is something that Nick found. Nick drives for a living all over the place, and he's in a lot of stores. So at a Walmart in Illinois, he found this. The greatest Cena figure ever.
Is that the transparent?
Yes, it is.
Nice.
That's dope.
That's awesome.
I remember seeing that online, and I was like, I nobody better buy that. But to know that you actually have one makes me smile.
The only figure that would be better than the Invisible Cena is a little Jimmy figure. It's just a box with nothing in it.
Right. Yeah, that'd be great. But I still think like there's really no action figure you can make better than that one.
No,
Yeah.
I agree.
Like you cannot. You took an internet meme and again, you re-owned the word and you made a transparent figure. That's dope.
Eventually, once I get him in the case, I'm going to put him on the wall behind me.
There you go.
I just haven't opened the box with the cases in there yet. I got a couple because Nick has a couple figures that he wanted put in a safety box, and I just haven't had the chance to open it yet.
There you go.
All right. Well, while we're still here for a few more minutes, I do want to remind everybody, next Saturday, September the 6th, Bridge City Slam, Central Empire Wrestling in Tumble at the Bridgeview Center. This Saturday, Chris, you're going to be in Waterloo for Absolute Pro Wrestling?
Yes. Be tag teaming with Jason Prentice for another pre-show podcast party. That's going to be fun. Super excited about that. I love going out to Waterloo. It's honestly the closest place that I can go for APW. Everything else is at an extra 45-minute drive.
Yeah. Yep. So I will have my ass on the couch all day from 11 a.m. till whenever, watching the full day of college football, and I cannot wait.
There you go.
I'm ready for some college football. So, especially now that the weather's feeling like fall, I'm just like, yep, now I'm getting into the feeling. Give me some pumpkin spice and we're good to go.
It's PSL season, man.
Little does Zach know he's on the way to Waterloo from where I'm at, so I'm going to invade his home and kidnap him.
There you go. Take him. Put him to work.
All right. Well, anything else you want to hit tonight there, CZ?
I think we've covered a lot of ground. I'm happy for what we've talked about. I can't think of anything really to add on.
Well, I appreciate you guys again. And, if there's anything I can do for you guys, even off air, if you want to reach out, ask questions, we can shoot the breeze about each one of your individual journeys. Because, again, I'm invested. I really want to see you guys lock in and succeed. I think the biggest thing that we're running into, just to quickly recap, is we're forgetting to chase that significant other. We're forgetting to, the little things that we did at the start, the extra little workout here, like, oh, I'm going to push away this extra bread over here. And we really got to fall back in love with the process.
I can agree with that. And I think you hit the nail on the head there. That's definitely kind of where we're at. I don't want to speak for Zach personally, but that's where I'm definitely at. So.
And guys, if you aren't too, make sure you hit the follow button on the Wrestling with Fitness page. I'll be doing some more meal prep this weekend. So when I get done with the meal preps, I'll take a picture, post picture of the meal preps. And then I always try to post the recipe in the comments too. So if you guys think it looks bomb.com, you can get the recipe in the comments as well. So that's one thing I've been really enjoying doing. I've actually had people ask me like, hey, can you post the recipe after you post the picture? I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I'd be happy to post it. So
that's cool, man.
And while Zach's doing his meal prepping on the weekends, I'm writing an accountability article every Sunday. So I do post the link to it here. But if you go on to Substacks, there's an app that you can download, or you can go to substack.com, follow For Frequency's Sake, my podcast network, and you'll be able to find those articles every Sunday.
That's awesome.
And how about you, Storm? Is there any place you want folks to follow you at?
I mean, you guys know I'm all over social media. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, all of it. Just Storm Thomas 50. Got daily motivational posts. I'm also looking at opening up some spots for some more online health and wellness clients. So if you're looking for extra motivation or you're looking for somebody to help you manage your own wrestling with fitness journey, go ahead and just shoot me a DM. We'll try to figure out what we can do for you.
Amen. Amen. I think that's going to wrap up this episode, gentlemen. What do you think?
I think that's a good spot to wrap it up there, CZ.
Yeah,
So
man. I
we'll
think
give
we had a lot of fun.
I think we did too. I'll give a little peek behind the curtain before we go off the air. Next month, we have an author coming on, Dr. Jeremy Housewright. He is the author of For the Love of the Show, both 1 and 2, and he's on his own fitness journey. Big wrestling fan. I'm excited to talk about his fitness journey and his book, which I do recommend both of them. They're very good.
Okay.
But until next month, I am the Wizard CZ. This is my partner, Zach Takis from Shotgun Wrestling Radio. You can find me on Card Subject to Change. We'll see you next month for another edition of Wrestling with Fitness.